We've reached some of the coldest months here in Manitoba. What we do here in Manitoba to keep warm and to gear up for Festival is to cook some of our favorite rustic meals. So today I'm going to teach you a few recipes. I'm going to start off with tourtière, a little bit of classic French-Canadian pea soup, and then I'll also teach you a relish that we'll put on top of the tourtière as a perfect complement to that dish. One thing about cooking over an open fire, you always got to rotate your coals. Make sure that they're in the right place so you can get the nice heat on your pans. The perfect temperature for cooking over a fire, to figure out your temperature, would actually be just to drop a little bit of water in it. If your beads of water actually are cohesive and they kind of bounce around the pan, that's how you know your pan's at the right temperature. If it starts to evaporate, you're not quite there yet. So you just want it to bead in the pan. When making a tourtière, you want to start with your onions and your mushrooms. So we'll get started by dicing up an onion. You want to do a nice fine dice on your onion. Discard any of the outer shell of the onion. Just throw it in the garbage. You don't really need it unless you're using it for stock. And I like to go 1 onion per about 2 kgs worth of beef and pork. So when you're dicing your onion, always start by feathering. You want to feather your onion before you actually slice it or cut it into chunks, chop it up. It just helps it with unicity in the size of your dice. Just going to grab my mushrooms here, and we're going to be using canola oil today. Canola oil is a high temp cooking oil, so you get a nice color on those vegetables. Just move over to the fire here. Now start by putting in a little bit of canola oil. And then you're going to want to add your mushrooms. See that nice sizzle, that sound that you're getting there? That's how you know you're at temperature. And you can add your onions. Already smells delicious. Move it around a little bit, just so you can distribute the heat evenly. Now we'll just leave that for a couple minutes. Let those onions sweat down. Those onions and mushrooms are looking really nice right now. You get this nice aroma of cooked mushrooms in the room, and the nice smell of the wood burning on the fire, still sizzling away. We chose canola oil here because what you get with canola oil is a really high temp cooking oil. It's really good for sauteing. It really sweats out your onions and your mushrooms very well, as opposed to an oil like olive oil that's not as high temp, or a coconut oil. They'll start to burn. You want to avoid that burn. It gives you astringent flavors. And those are things that you want to avoid when cooking tourtière or any other dish, really. It's really starting to smell nice in here. You can smell the onions cooking, the mushrooms cooking away. We're almost ready to add our beef. Not quite yet. We'll give it another couple minutes. In the meantime, we can get our onions cut up for our pea soup, and then we can start on our relish.